Hey guys, this is Manish Sethi, your #1 digital nomad from coming to you from Portland, Oregon today. I'm here with my buddy Benny Lewis, who runs a website called Fluent in 3 months, which is a website. Well, why don't you tell me what it's about?
It is documenting my attempts to learn languages in 3 months. So I've been blogging there for 3 years, and I do not have any talent in languages. I'm an electronic engineer. I only spoke English when I was 21, and I'm trying to encourage other people to try and learn languages the way I do.
So I've seen a lot of readers come in to my website from Zen Habits and from Lifehacker in the past couple of days, and they've been really trying to learn exactly the methods that one can learn a language extremely quickly without spending a lot of money, or if they have to spend money, they can spend money, but they just want to learn a language in a way that doesn't just waste time. And I've seen that there's a lot of methods that just waste time and just try to steal people's money.
Yep.
Have you noticed this?
Oh, definitely, because there's a lot of programs, which I'm sure everyone's aware of, and they are fun to use. You click a lot of buttons, you press play on your audio a lot, you fill time up, you feel like you're doing stuff, and it's great for them because you know, it takes forever to get through it, so you just have to keep buying the next level and the next level and the next level. You do not need to do that. The best way by far to do anything, you know, if you want to write a book, if you want to do anything, just do it.
Just do it.
You know?
Yeah.
You do the verb before the ER. You want to be a writer, write. You want to be a runner, run. You want to speak a language, speak it.
Speak it.
And speak it from day one.
So
that's the secret to my whole process. No matter what language I learn, rather than say, okay, I'll buy these books, I'll study this grammar, you know, I'll prepare myself to be ready someday. From day one, I'm going to start speaking it.
So rather than learning a language by, like, if you want to, most people tend to want to speak the language. So rather than learning a language by, you know, reading the vocab books or by writing down or watching films, the best way to speak a language is to actually just go out there to speak a language. And to that extent, you've gone out there and just spoken a language, which I find amazing. So if you were somebody who wanted to learn a language in the next 3 months, and you didn't have any access, you weren't moving to the country yet, what exactly would you do to learn that language? Let's say I'm John from Williamsburg, Connecticut, and I really want to learn French.
Okay.
I'm about to move there in 3 months, and I really want to learn it by, you know, November. What do I do?
You should definitely not start with the grammar books and whatever. If you want to, like, the cheapest book I always tell people I like is a Lonely Planet phrase book. It's like $5 or so. And the reason I like this is because you have full phrases that you can use right from the start. It's not about learning words, because words, you can't do so much with words. It's like a full sentence. You need, from day one, you need to say, where's the bathroom? How much does that cost? These kind of basic things. You learn those off. And, like, I would learn them off using a bit of music. I kind of find, if, you know, one thing I always like to tell people, when I learned Italian, I wanted to say, where's the bathroom? I sang the Big Ben tune. I was like, dove si trova il gabinetto, and I sang that a few times and it stuck. So you start outputting the language as soon as possible, but the key is you have to use it with another human being. It's not about buying this particular course or that software. You have to find yourself in front, face to face, or at least via Skype face to face, with a native or fluent speaker of the language. So from the first day, something you say is hiring a tutor. I definitely agree with that. Or if you're on a tighter budget, doing a language exchange. Another thing I really like is in the city, wherever you are, Connecticut or whatever it is, if you go on couch surfing, which people associate with traveling and stuff, and, you know, not so much just for hosting, but I think searching your city for the target language. It's one of the biggest social networking sites that you can search per language.
Absolutely.
And the mentality of couch surfers means they're so much more open to meeting a stranger that's contacting them on the internet. So just message them and say, do you want to have a coffee? Maybe you can teach them how to program a website or whatever it is. Or maybe they're just passionate about their culture and they want to share it with you.
So like when you're trying to break it down, I think that the biggest problem, I think people will agree that if you want to learn a language, the most important thing is that you start talking in that language immediately.
Right.
And people, I think the biggest barrier to entry here is that people don't understand how to meet people who speak the language. So if you were to say 2 tips, maybe 3 tips for how to meet somebody in your city in the next 2 weeks who speaks the language, what exactly would you do? Number 1 seems to be go to Couchsurfing and type in your city speaking that language. What are 2 other things that you could do?
Meetup.com.
Okay.
Meetup.com, depending on the language in the city, tends to have a weekly or monthly meetups where you can at least meet other learners. And I think that's don't rule out non-native speakers.
Mm-hmm.
You can meet people who are a little bit higher than you, and they're happy to practice. So Couchsurfing the meetup, and then in your own city, the likes of Craigslist and your local community. If you go to a church or if you're in a library, or just write on Facebook, just do a status update. Does anybody know a native French speaker? Mm-hmm. And you would be surprised how your social network will jump in. Or even within Facebook, just do a search, French Connecticut, French Portland, and you might just find that meetup.
It's never been easier to find people than today.
Yes.
Benny, I want to know before we end what your best story is about a funny language mishap that you've had while traveling. By the way, before we get to the story, Benny, how many languages do you speak specifically?
Depending on how you define speak.
Like fluently. Let's say fluently being conversational fluently where you can get your point across, you might have a few mistakes, but you can get there to...
Okay, that would be 8 languages.
Okay.
I'd say like 4 or 5 of these languages are like indisputably fluent by everyone's definition. But conversationally fluent, 8 languages.
What are your 5?
Definitely Spanish, Portuguese and French, and then Italian and maybe either German or Esperanto.
Okay. And so, okay, let's get to that story. So what's the best ridiculous story you've seen where a language mishap just screwed up? I'll tell mine first, and you can tell yours. My best one was when I was in Italy, and I was buying a ticket to go on a train from Venice to Florence. And I was talking to an 80-year-old woman in line in Italian, and she's a nice 80-year-old signora. And I was just talking to her all in Italian, and I get to the ticket counter, and I buy a ticket, and all of my change comes in coins, 50-cent euro coins. And I turn to her, and I wanted to say, I'm going to go to the casino. So I say, vado al casino. You know what I'm saying. But in Italian, the word for casino is casino. And what I had said is, with these 50-cent coins, I'm going to the whorehouse. And she gave me the dirtiest look I've ever seen, and I just had to run away. Ciao, è stato un piacere, ciao! What happened to you?
I got a million stories. I mean, I guess the funniest was it wasn't one that happened to me, but also in a train station in Italy. Yeah. I was waiting for a delayed train, and this American girl wanted to get a latte, cafe latte. Mm-hmm. And she went to the bar and she said, "Un latte per piacere." And like a minute later, a glass of milk came, because that's precisely what she ordered. She ordered milk, and like she was waiting around, dove